Hey guys. So in the last few videos, I have made a very specific effort to try to, I think, touch a little bit more on the subjects of kind of like masculinity and how guys think and operate, um, and how we, I think, relate to each other. Because I think that there's a lot of negativity out there that often I think can confuse young men and make us, I think, act in a way that really isn't in our best interest. And sometimes those things are really noticeable, and sometimes those things are like really covert. And I found this video recently, and I think it's more or less like an active trend that's kind of like going on. But it's really wholesome. But I think it allows kind of like a perfect example of what I'm talking about, or at least I think would allow me to have a conversation with you guys about how men treat each other and how we can go forth treating each other better, right? So here it is.
Yo, what you got going on?
Shit, leaving the gym.
Yo, sure. I was just calling, just trying to tell you good night, bro.
You said what?
I was just calling to tell you good night.
Tell me good night. What the fuck wrong with you, man?
I can't tell my boy good night, dog.
Yeah, man, goddamn. What, you going to sleep already?
Yeah, man, you know it's 9 o'clock in Florida, dog.
Hey, man, look here, man. Damn, bro, the heck you got going on?
Hey, man, we don't tell our brothers good night, man. We gotta start telling each other good night, dog.
See, all right, good night, my nigga. What the fuck?
All right, bro.
It's really wholesome. It's really sweet. But I think the thing that I wanted to talk about, and there's more with this video, but I think there is, at least from my knowledge, like a big disconnect here from how women would view this type of behavior and how men would view this type of behavior. And again, this is not every woman and this is not every man. Everyone's kind of like their own person and individualistic. But I'm talking about more on like a societal kind of like level, because the reaction that this dude had to being called by the guy on screen, I think is, for most men, completely normal. It's like the idea of us taking time out of our day to just like call and talk and check up on our friend, even for like 10 seconds, to wish them safety and like a good night, is like completely foreign. Like, I'm pretty sure the whole point about this whole trend is that the dudes' wives are telling them to call their friends specifically because it's so weird. And I think the reaction, like the pure and utter shock that these guys have to being told goodnight by their friend, I think is really indicative of what I was talking about before in another video. And that's the fact that for a lot of dudes, we have a lot of really good friends, but the level of our friendship is, for the most part, emotionally shallow. Because I think for the most part, a lot of dudes aren't told that it's important to be emotionally vulnerable and emotionally investigative when it comes to friendships with other guys, right? Like, again, I think a woman could very easily like call up her friend randomly and say like, oh, I just want you to have a good night, you know, and then maybe even keep talking after that, just like on a complete whim. Or as like for a guy, it might be like a, are you okay? Like, are you an alien type thing? And I think this type of behavior needs to become more normalized. Now, again, I don't think it necessarily needs to be like every dude needs to call their friend every single night to wish them, you know, like a good night's sleep. But I do think the reaction to this shows that we as men aren't used to just being cared for and thought of by other men, right? And like, a lot of you hearing that might literally think innately being cared for by another man equates to something sexual or romantic. And I think that's immediately part of the rot that has happened in modern masculinity, right? Like, I think so much of emotional vulnerability is, for us as men, we are taught to tie that to femininity and romanticism, that when we hear being taken care of, being looked after, being checked up on, we kind of view that as another man treating us like a woman in many cases. And so we don't do that, right? Like, we think like, oh, I'm supposed to check up on the people who I have authority over, or the people who I care about, or the people I protect. And that's not another man, because would I want someone to do that to me. But yeah, you would. You really would. Because I think once you start, I think, detaching insecurity from being looked after and having other men look out for you and want your emotional well-being, I think you're going to realize that your life, I think, becomes like a lot more free and open. And the troubles that you have, because I think men do have a lot of troubles in the modern day context. I think the community that you can have with having a deep relationship like that, emotionally open and emotionally investigative, I think really will open a lot of doors for a lot of people and then help them see what they need and what they can give to others.
What's up, bro?
Yo, what's up, bro? What you doing?
Morgan?
Oh, okay. I'll just call and tell you good night. That's all.
No, you weren't.
I'm for real. I'll just tell you good night, bro.
What? Why?
We don't tell our brothers good night enough, man. You never know.
I mean, this is true.
It could be our
But-
it could be our last night on earth.
Anyway, I mean, okay, well, I hope it's not yours.
Hey, that's for the Lord to decide.
Oh, what's going on?
Ain't nothing going on, man. I'm just saying the Bible said no man know the day nor the hour.
All right, well, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I just want to tell you good night, bro.
All right, well, I love you.
I love you too, man.
All right, have a good night. I'll talk to you later.
All right, you too. Sleep good.
All right.
Again, like, super wholesome, and I think a really cool way of like modeling this type of behavior. But the way that these men react to this is so telling. Like, it is so foreign to a lot of dudes to have this happen that this guy literally thought his friend might die. He's like, are you okay? Like, you're calling me to... I've had friends, like real world example friends, of them being called by another guy and the guy being like, oh, I really appreciate you as a friend. You know, I just want to let you know X, Y, and Z. This is really cool. And then that person calls me and they're like, yo, Alex, is this person okay? Like, are they gonna end it all? Like, is this like their final like wishes? They're saying goodbye. I'm like, no, I just think they are trying to emotionally confide in you, right? Like, that's how deep this all goes. And it shouldn't be that way, obviously. I think we can all see that it's not healthy to be this shocked by like just what ends up to be like common human decency, right? I think a normalization of this type of behavior, or at least adjacent behavior, emotional vulnerability, can do so much.
Hello?
Yo,
Yes, sir. How you doing, sir? How you doing?
now I'm sitting here laying down with Maddie. What you got going on?
None with Bailey about to eat dinner with Lamont here.
Oh, man, I'll just call and tell you good night, bro.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, man, I appreciate you.
Yeah, man, I just want to tell you good night, man. That's all. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, I so appreciate you. You know, there ain't too many folks that do that. Except for Bailey.
We gotta tell our brother good night and that we love him, man.
Yeah, man, I need to start doing that. So when you get a phone call tomorrow, just make sure you answer.
All right, I got you.
All right, man.
All right, G. Good night.
All right, you too.
Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
And again, like, I don't have to beat a dead horse, but like, y'all can see that like every person in this video, like every dude, they like recognize that like, wow, yeah, we should do this more. And that's like the crazy thing about, I think, modern masculinity and the expressions of modern masculinity is that this isn't something that we don't know we should do, right? It'd be one thing if there was like some type of, I don't know, secret sociological puzzle that men just could not solve about our own behavior and how to better ourselves interpersonally and with our community. But the crazy part is there isn't. We literally all know what we should do. It's just that it's so hard to engage in those behaviors because we have years and years and years of examples pulling us in the other direction, right? It's so much easier to stay stagnant, even if that stagnation means discomfort, right? Because putting yourself out there and being vulnerable means the ability to be hurt more than the discomfort you're used to. And I think there is coming a time where more will be demanded of us as young men to tell each other that, you know, we love each other, to not be worried that we're sexualizing each other or like being romantic by simply expressing emotions. I think is really important. Because without it, I think we go down a dark path of more and more stoically closing ourselves off when we don't really need to. And we only end up hurting ourselves and the people around us.
Yo, what you doing, fool?
Just eating.
No, I was just calling to tell you good night, bro.
Huh?
I was just calling to tell you good night.
You know, that be my night, bro.
I made your night. Appreciate it, man.
Well, good night, man.
All right, good night, bro. Love you, man.
Love you too.
Yeah, like it's so for people who don't know, if there's any like women watching this, and I think guys might be able to attest, if you can't relate to this, I think you're very lucky and very blessed. Men receive so few compliments or like genuine emotional connectivity, not just from men, but like from women, that a lot of men will literally like remember individual compliments or like good moments of emotions or like being looked after like for the rest of their life. Like I know, and maybe this is just me, I remember literally almost every compliment I was given in college by a woman, right? Like I think I'm used to being complimented by like, you know, my mom or like my family, but like other people as a man, you just don't, at least again in my experience, you don't receive stuff like that. You're not looked after like that. And every time it happened to me, that was literally why I chose my college, right? Like it was, I had never experienced something like this before. Like, and to get to it very, very briefly, I had gone to like an overnight. It was a black student overnight at my college. And so I was being paired with like, I think like juniors and seniors at the college. So they were like 4 or 5 years older than me. And I still remember like literally to this day, it was a woman named, I think her name was Alexis. And I just thought she was so beautiful. And it was like the last day of the black student overnight. And she was talking to her friend and she's like literally with me there. And this is like a grown woman, probably like 21, 22. I'm like 17. And she goes, you know, he's so cute. I want my husband to look like him. And obviously it was just kind of like a joke, like, you know, make the high schooler feel good. But again, guys, I will literally never forget. That was the first compliment I had been given, maybe outside of like, at the time, like my girlfriend in high school. Like nobody else, like no woman ever my age or close had ever given me a compliment. And it was like one of, I think, just like the most simple compliments you can give to someone. I mean, it wasn't even like, you know, like that big a deal. I mean, maybe it is, but I can't tell. But like just the idea of someone being like, oh yeah, I'm going to compliment you on how you look, and let you know and not be afraid of it. It was just mind blowing to me. And I said, oh, I'm going here. And it wasn't for her, but it was just the idea that I felt so comfortable being there. And I liked the experience of having that happen. And again, I remember every other time something like that happened too. I am lucky that I think with my guy friends, I found a lot of really cool guy friends to be around that we are really complimentary of each other. Like we have a whole channel in our group chat. We're literally just called Good Job Son, where we compliment each other like on our accomplishments. But this type of stuff, I think, is the thing that I think secretly, insidiously hurts men. Is that I think emotional connectivity and vulnerability and reaching out does not happen a lot, and we don't know how to receive it, and therefore a lot of the times we don't know how to give it. And I think practicing this more and becoming more used to it, I think is really, really important. So that's just what I wanted to talk about today, because I saw this video and I was like, dang, this is really cool, really wholesome, but also I think allows us to see kind of like into the mirror image of what's going on. So if you guys liked it, let me know what else you want me to talk about, and I'll get on it.